Hello, and welcome to a new series on Potato FC, creating Potato Ball. This series is going to look at creating different tactics, and this series is about creating the mashed potato, which is going to be a direct and physical style of football. We're going to try and create this with Bohemians FC in Ireland, a local team to me, and we've also picked Ireland because the players are kind of weak in certain areas. So if we look at the senior team, and if we look at, say, Eve Pearson's, who's one of our best players, she has 6 to 16. Katie Melly. So we can really specialize on players and on their attributes. So for mashed potato, these are all of the attributes that we're going to be looking at. So for our defenders, we only care about tackling and position. Then we care about crossing. For our wingers, work rate for most players, particularly the midfield, off the ball, strength, and jumping reach and heading. But jumping reach is the most important. We're going to be aerially dominant. And then for the goalkeepers, we want aerial reach. And since we're going to have lots of tall, jumpy people, we want to focus on set pieces. So we have free kicks and corners. So if you see here, we have 3 players who are kind of not that good in the air, 10, 7, and 7. But these are going to be our set piece takers. And then if we move to the tactics, this is how we line up. So we've got the wing backs pushing up forward. We've got a second striker and an attacking midfielder. These are here to support the deep lying forward from the long balls to win the second ball. So if we see here, when we have the ball going through, that they're always quite close. So we should be picking up the second ball a lot and then going out wide. We want whipped in crosses. We want to hit early crosses. We don't want to shoot from distance. We don't want to dribble that much. I don't actually want supporting runs, so they can sit back and hit an early cross in. And we want to go long. And if we look, we're going much more direct. No freedom. We're playing narrower because we want these players inside for the long ball and pass to feet. Not much creative discipline and play for set pieces. Then defensively, we're like this. And we will be playing a low block. So we're tall, but we're slow. So we don't want the balls in behind. We'll be playing a low line, low block, drop off. We'll trigger our press a little bit once they get inside. We want to regroup and we want to get stuck in with the tackles. Except we're going to have the halfbacks holding off, easing off on the tackles so they stand up and we invite the crosses into the box because we're really should be dominant in the air. We're playing trap outside, and we are playing with we want this to be just a normal goalkeeper. So she'll come out and intercept crosses, but because we're playing such a low line, we don't really need a sweeper keeper. And if we go back to our squad and look at our lineup, you can see that we're really tall. And I'll put up graphics now of the league average and our team average. So I've tried to sign lots of tall players, and goalkeeping was the most difficult to get the best. So we're a little bit short on aerial reach for our goalkeepers, but we've got Roisin McGovern has the highest reach of anybody in the league. Therese Knivi, Shauna Carroll, they're all really tall. Midfield, Dora Gorman's quite close to being the tallest. Right wing, there's so few wingers in the league, and they're all quite short, so we're really dominant on the wing, and we're close to being good with the strikers. But you can see that this lineup is our tallest 11 minus our set piece taker, and not very many of them are great at heading. But we're going to focus with this lineup first. You can see we have a few on the bench. So Hannah O'Brien, Cassandra van Udenhove, and here we have Michelle Muddyman, but she's a defender. These are slightly weaker in the air, but they're better at heading, and they're better at off the ball. Well, Cassandra is, then Paula. But we're going to first focus on winning the headers and see how that goes. So that's the tactic. That's the team. This is the team that will be lining up for the first game. Let's just swap the subs around a little bit so that there's someone for each position. Right back, left back, centre mid. Yeah, okay. That's okay enough. And we go to the first game of the season, which is against DLR Waves. Some of the players are also not really familiar with this tactic, so it's going to take a while for them to kick in. But we have three main principles with this tactic. One is crosses into the box. That's going to be our main goal threat. Two is long ball, winning the header, winning the second ball. And three is out of possession, that we force them wide, we force them to cross, and we win the aerial battles there. So I'm going to watch this whole match against DLR Waves, and I will dip in and out. And there, by the way, is Aisling Meehan. We know her from our Road to Glory save with Sheffield United. So yeah, I'm going to watch the whole match, and I will come in and out when anything important on those three key principles happen. One minute in, and we've got our first attack. Melly whips in an early cross, but the forwards weren't quite there. So perhaps early crosses aren't going to work with the deep lying forward and second striker. They'll be there late. So let's go to standard. Let's also watch their first corner, see how we defend, see how we line up. So first key issue I see is Eve Pearson is marking Finnegan. Finnegan looks like their tallest player, and Eve is our shortest player. Oh, but you know, I bet the game thinks because she is 8 heading, she's one of our strongest in the air. Let's go set pieces. How can I see aerial threats? No. So why is she... So what player number is she? She is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is aerial trend number 6? Number 5? Oh yeah, there she is. Number 7. Nope. And let's put her all the way down at the bottom. So they whip in the cross, and Carol wins it, and then Kenevi recovers and puts it out for a throw in. We're 4 minutes in. It's mostly been them with possession, them attacking, and here they have the ball again. We have forced them wide. Atkinson gets tripped by Melly, and they've got a free kick. So they whipped it in, we win the header, and all the way out to Alquemi, and we can counter here with McKee. It's so isolated. Players push up. So here comes Carroll. Back to Gorman. Now we've got a bit of space, a bit of player forward. McKay crosses in. Melly. Not exactly our tactic, but 1-0 Bohemians. Immediately from their tip-off, they've got a chance. Cosgrove skips past Alquemi. Carroll standing off. Ooh, big tackle. And out for a corner. So let's see if this has been fixed with Eve. So she's still in the box. I'd rather that she was not. They play in the goal kick. Headed away to Alquemi. So we have 3 players on the edge of the box, so we can try and break from corners. So Alquemi running down, but not much support, and throw in. It's trying to make Eve, so she's a player marker. Let's have her play on the edge of the area, and Faye Alquemi player mark. Although ideally we'd want Paula McGrory to player mark. So how can we do that? We need to go into trackers, and we'll put Eve Pearson all the way at the end of the list. So maybe that'll help. Now how are we? Okay. And Katie Melly. Yeah. Perhaps. Do we have anyone actually good at marking on the trackers? Yeah, but they're all probably... That's okay. Let's leave it at that. 12 minutes, and again another dangerous position for DLR. Atkinson on the left hand side, but Pekinivi standing up and wins the tackle. Out for a throw in, so they've still got possession, so we'll see if we can force them into a cross into our tall centre backs. So Doyle puts the ball in, Alquemi wins, and McGrory wins again. So you can see we're going to be under pressure quite a lot with this tactic, I think. But then we're going to win goal kicks, or McKiernan's going to turn it over, and this is going to give us a base to build from. But not with long balls like that. Atkinson again on the left hand side, and another strong tackle from Melly. So Melly and McKee having the strong games. So again, possession here, down the left hand side. They've cut inside, and Meehan with a shot blocked. They've got another corner, so let's see, where's Eve now at the corner? She's all the way up here. Perfect. So there's Gorman, there's Alquemi, Carl away. Alquemi running down the left. This is a good chance. Another early ball. Melly rises and saved. Maybe I should get them to cross from the byline. Let's try that on one side. Across from byline. "28 minutes in, and a rare venture for us into their half. Fail Kwame breaking down the left wing, crosses from the byline all the way to Melly and into the hands of Richardson." So what about if we look at where to cross? Crossing strategy. Near post, center, far post. Don't want. Let's try near post. So we have kind of one standard on the right and one more specific on the left, and we'll see how both of them work out and compare. DLR waves with possession. Doyle plays it back to Parry. Atkinson plays it all the way back to Donnelly. Plays a long ball forward, and we win the aerial battle and the second ball, and Fail Kwame can break down the left. So let's see what she does. She loses possession, but we force them into a long ball and into a turnover. And they've played it forward again. Oh, and scored. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake from the centre forwards. But let's see what we do from the tip off. So Kenevi puts in an early cross, and there's no one there. And they clear, and we don't win the second ball. Another corner here for JLR. Again, Pearson is where she should be, not in the box. They swing it in. We win the header. McKee clears it all the way. McGorry flicks it on. And then we've gotten our shape back. Meehan, good tackle from Kenevi. And these no-nonsense long balls are not quite working, I think. But Melly skips past her player. Puts across all the way. That'll be a throw-in. We've got our first corner. So Al Kwame is taking the corner. That really should be Pearson, but I've changed it since. And what we're doing from the corners here is McKee is coming short to draw one defender out, and then Hannon and McGovern, our two best header aerial threats, are attacking the near post. McGrory's far post in case it misses them, and Gorman's playing this disruptive area, and Carroll and Melly are playing edge of the box. So if we don't win the first header, we should pick up the second. So let's see how this one works out. So draws the defender, whips it in, doesn't beat the first person, but Carroll gets it and all the way back to Al Kwame for a second chance. So she plays it back to Melly, and a deflection nearly ends up being lucky for us. But that corner routine worked out fine, even though we had the wrong player taking the kick. We've worked the ball down the left, and Carroll whips it in back to Melly, who heads it just wide. Now Melly down the right hand side plays the ball in. McGrory should win this one, and also just goes wide. So that's two chances in quick succession where we've both put in a cross and had a good chance. A few minutes before half time, and they've got a free kick that they're going to put into the box. So let's see how we defend against this. Again, we have a few players hoping to go for the attack, so it doesn't beat McGrory. All the way to Faye, who should hold it up and play it to Melly. So we managed to defend that corner fine. They didn't get the second ball, and we've found our shape again. This attack is still working out down the left hand side. Back to Hannon. I'm going to expect either a ball to the right or a big ball up front. Yeah, so Melly back to Kenevi. Now we should have a cross. So deep cross to Gorman. So that was a good free kick. We won the first header, kept possession, and worked our way up for a chance. And that's half time. And we've actually managed to have more possession than them, and we've restricted them to a lot of crosses where they don't end up having shots from it, where we've won the header. Their goal was from a poor mistake, and our goal was from a low cross. And overall, I feel like the tactic is doing what it's meant to be doing for the most part. A few changes might be needed here or there, but overall, the long ball part is disappointing, but the wing play and the crosses and what we're doing, particularly defending set pieces, is really working in my opinion. So let's get into the second half, and we'll be back when something interesting happens. I've took us back a little bit to show an example of something that is working and something that's not. So they get the ball and they play it all the way out to the right, and Kozrov's going to whip it in, and McKiernan's going to pluck it out of the air exactly how we want. And then we should be finding our shape, but she kicked it away too quickly and they just turn it over. So we want that to slow down a little bit. And then here we have a throw in. They somehow work it into the box, and Gorman trips Atkinson for a penalty, and Meaton steps up to the spot to take it. And puts it away. 2-1. The Yellow Waves. We might start looking at substitutions. So let's see how Cassandra van Oudenhove does up front. And here we have 5 subs, but there's no amount of stoppages, so we can do them at any time. Melly's tired, but she's playing well. Here she has a chance to whip it in. Too deep, but Pearsons picks it up. Back to Carol. So we're going to look at a long ball forward. Elkwame heads it across the goal. Back to her. Someone was offside there. Okay, so that's Van Oudenhove on. Who else would I maybe like to take? Gorman off and put Rachel Graham on. We don't have another left winger. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll come back later. And here Bonnie has the ball, and now we're more in shape. So she should play a long ball. Hopefully we win the header and get the second ball. So we lose the header, but McGovern picks it up. Out to Kenevi, back to McGovern. And now Pearson can spread it out to Melly. Looks to beat the player. Down the line and whip it in. And Fail Quamey finds the net. 2-2. So that worked. Goal kick. Richardson plays it, but Graham picks it up and plays it all the way back to Kenevi. Plays a long ball forward, and Van Oudenhove picks up the ball and finds the net. 3-2 to Bohemians. That was a nice pass. That was Van Oudenhoven's superior off the ball, I think, coming into play. Now we have Elkwame running with the ball. Her instructions are to go near post. So let's see if she can find it. Plays it in, headed away. Not sure if that looks more dangerous or not. But then DLR break. Cosgrove running down the wing. Graham tracking all the way back. But we let her cross it in. And McKiernan picks it out of the air and plays it all the way forward to nobody. Yeah, let's... It's like, how do we slow that down even more? Or do we change goalkeeper distribution? Maybe we'll just go with balanced. We're going to do one more substitution. Lucy Jane Grant is coming on for Carol. And let's see what DLR does with possession here. So they play it out wide to Peer, and then down to Atkinson. So we're really blocking them. They play a long ball forward and goes out for a throw in. It's really interesting watching this level of football compared to Sheffield United. I feel like there's a difference in quality of the play. Also, this tactic is so uninspiring to watch. But I felt in older versions of FM that no matter what level you were playing at, players always looked world class. But here you can see that the players aren't at the same standard as our Sheffield United players. So McKiernan picks up a loose ball, and we're going to go long here. So she plays it long. Melly wins the header, and we've got the second ball. She goes out wide and plays it back to Kenevi, back to Melly, who plays a floated in cross, punched away. See, that's why we want whipped crosses rather than floated. Because floated are easier for the keeper, and the centre backs in general in this league are taller than strikers, and even though we've got the taller strikers, they're still going to struggle against a lot of centre back pairings. So we want the whipped cross in. That was dangerous. Free kick in a dangerous position. So let's see how they go. Pearson's is on the edge of the box. We kind of want to watch where she's going for set pieces. So we know for corners she started off in a bad position. Let's check for free kicks as well. So they played it long. Out of play. Goal kick. Now we have a free kick in an interesting position. Pearson to play it in. Not quite sure where she's meant to put it in here, but she goes for near post, I guess. I think for those deep positions we want to go far post. See what happens. This long ball forward. Manages to get the shot in. Yeah, let's go set pieces. Free kicks. I guess it's a wide position. Yeah, aim far post. See deep. Aim far post as well. But a long ball forward, and their fullback misses it, and Brennan, nobody in the box though, brings it back all the way to Pearson's. Graham, play it out here. Good. Kenevi playing it inside. Cassandra takes the shot over the bar. What did that say? Male 1 is absolutely braiding male number 1's player. Interesting. Melly with the cross and dealt with by the defense. And last few seconds of the game, and Melly goes down with an injury, and they put it out of play. for a throw in. That should be it. So if we look possession wise, yeah, I can't do any substitutes, right? So just see at the game. Yep, game over. So 3-2 win, nice. If we take away their penalty, they're at. Let's just wait. They're not that much of a high XG. Of course, they did get a penalty. We did pretty good in terms of possession and lots of chances from crosses. So nice work. It's picked up a win. Plenty to learn from that match, though. The crossing isn't quite working out. The players are quite deep, the forward players. So out for 6 to 7 weeks. Let's have a quick look at how we were doing with our crossing and our headers in that game. So our fullbacks had 8 crosses between them and 3 succeeded. And for our wingers, 21 attempts and 9 succeeded. So not too bad. That's not really working, I think. Oh, it's backwards. Crosses attempted and crosses completed. And then in terms of heading, we have Eve not winning many, which is to be expected. Nia Hannon is maybe disappointing. 14 jumping reach. She's good positioning. She should be winning more. Roisin McGovern winning everything. Our fullbacks winning most. That's to be expected. Good from Katie Melly. Good from the wings, and quite good from the forwards actually. 56 is quite strong because they're going up against players that are taller than them, and Cassandra didn't do that great. And on the wings for our substitutes, Shauna Brennan didn't really do anything there. So as you can see, this is going to be a more tactical focused series compared to our Road to Glory. It's going to be 2 episodes a week, Tuesday and Thursday, and we're going to have slightly longer episodes, but we're going to go through the season in fewer episodes. So the league in Ireland is also 22 matches. So we're going to come back midway in the next episode, and we'll have a clearer idea of how our players are doing in terms of winning headers and winning crosses. But it started off strong. A few changes that we have to make to the tactics, and yeah, we'll be back for Shamrock Rovers or Sligo Rovers match in May, and we'll see how the tactic is getting on then. So until then, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, leave a comment how you think this tactic is going, what other tactics would you like to see in the future, and until the Sligo Rovers match, bye.